What is going on, everyone? The Sixers fall in Denver, and it's not surprising, okay? Going into this basketball game, understanding no Joel Embiid, understanding no Jimmy Butler, who was expected to play on Tuesday, which is great news, understanding that he went to Los Angeles to get his wrist checked out. That's actually really great news. I was concerned, because if he had to go all the way to Los Angeles to get it all figured out, I thought to myself, there had to have been something wrong. Great news. Brett Brown was right. It was just precautionary, and I was stunned to hear the news, to be honest with you. So he's expected to go on Tuesday. Wilson Chandler also not playing. The Sixers were shorthanded, and it affected us big time. Even with our starters and everyone in there, we have one of the worst benches in the NBA. Now factor out no Joel Embiid, no Jimmy Butler, and no Wilson Chandler having to have other players step up and play big minutes. It was a recipe for disaster to begin with. No Jamal Murray for the Nuggets, but it was just what I expected it to be. And to be honest with you, it went longer than I expected it to be. I didn't think the Sixers would even be relevant as long as they were in this game. They fought. I mean, they did everything they could. It wasn't a lack of effort. It was just not having the personnel in this basketball game. And one thing that's pissing me off is on Twitter, you see it all over the place. People are pissed off with Brett Brown after this game. What's he doing starting him here? And Ben was on Jokic. And why is TJ McConnell starting? Guys, we have no options. You can't look at this basketball game and say, this is on you, Brett Brown. We don't have our all-star, top-5 player in the league in Joel. Jimmy's injured, and Wilson Chandler. It affects the depth of this team, which we already don't have. This game does not go on Brett Brown. That frustrates me. You just have to accept the L in this situation. I didn't have much expectations going into this. We allow 126 points, 74 points in the paint. That's what happens when you don't have a legit player out there like Embiid. Jokic had 17 and 7 in the first quarter. He finishes with a triple-double, and his stat line reads 32, 18, and 10. We would have had to have played a perfect basketball game to win. Like, insanely perfect. And we weren't close to that, and I don't expect the Sixers to be when you have guys out there like Shake Milton, Highsmith, Amir Johnson. One of our lineups, I'll get to Shake Milton, by the way. That wasn't really a knock on him, but he's not a serious NBA player. But when you have a lineup of TJ McConnell, JJ Redick, Furkan Korkmaz, Muscala, and Amir Johnson, tell me who's defending. Tell me who's defending. But there's no other options to put out there on the floor. We just didn't have it tonight. We didn't have the personnel to go out there and win the basketball game. And on top of that, the Denver Nuggets have a really great home record, just as great as the 76ers do in the Wells Fargo Center. Let's take a look at some of my takeaways from this game. Takeaway number 1, Corey Brewer, the acquisition there, as he scores 20 tonight. Wow. And for him to be, I know it wasn't that way now based off of who didn't play tonight, but for him to be the best bench player that we got, a guy who was sitting on the couch and wasn't picked up from anyone, that just shows you where this bench really is. I mean, Corey Brewer was a baller tonight. He hit a 3. He was taking it to the hoop hard. He had monster steals at times. He played hard as hell. But for him to be the most effective bench player that we have, it just shows you what we really do have on this roster on the bench. Takeaway number 2. I want to see Landry Shamet play the 1. I want to see him get more time. He played it in college at Wichita State. It's not like he had this crazy effective game or anything, but I actually liked what I saw. I saw him moving the basketball. He had a nice couple assists. I liked the way he dribbled the ball up the floor. He had vision. It looked like he understood what he was doing. I would like to see Landry Shamet get some time at the 1, to be honest with you. I didn't hate it. And then my takeaway 2.5, because it's not a full takeaway, and I didn't rip him a couple minutes ago. I'm just saying he's not a real effective NBA player. But Shake Milton has a nice little jumper. That's my 2.5. A nice little jumper. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't expect him to be on this team and changing the bench strength. But I'm just saying. He knocked a couple shots down. So Ben tonight. Ben was playing the 4, a little out of his comfort zone. He didn't have the ball in his hands as much. And I'm okay with it in this situation. You got to try and spark something different. Try and be unique, as Brett Brown said before the game. You got to try and be unique and win this game in a different way. We put Ben at the 4, and he had a double-double. He had 19 points. He shot the ball terribly of 6 and 17. But the thing is, they were missed bunnies, missed one-footers, and multiple of them. 5, 6, 7. I'm not mad at Ben. I'm not ripping him apart. I get it. It happens. But he maybe left 12 to 15 points on the table. This could have been a 35-point night for Ben Simmons in that 4 position, not being a primary ball handler the entire game. We're talking little jump shots, not even jump shots, layups that he normally would hit. So he left some points on the board, but what he did do successfully tonight is foul line. Shot his free throws well. He shot 70% from the free throw line. He's currently shooting 58. Brett wanted him to shoot 70 all season long as a percentage. He shot 7 of 10, and the free throws actually looked smooth, hit nothing but net. It was a nice-looking free throw, so you got to take some positives out of this. I'm not sitting here taking really any negatives. There's no negatives in this. It was a game where we were shorthanded. We were not full strength. We were depleted, and a good team took advantage of that. And right from the get-go, when you see someone like Jokic go for 17 and 7 in the first quarter, and you look at the points in the paint, and you say, okay, there's some holes, and they're just attacking them. And that's what good teams do. They attack those holes, and that's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did against the Sixers team tonight. It is what it is. When you look at the team, and like I said, we would have to play a perfect basketball game. Bolden, a starter, 3 points. TJ, a starter, 5 points. And he was minus 19, I think. You know, Highsmith's playing minutes. Amir Johnson's playing minutes. Muscala had 10 points. There was a spurt of about 30 seconds where he went 3 for 3 from the three-point line, and we were getting all hype and keeping the game close, and then he went ice cold from 3 and jacking up everything. It wasn't in the game plan to win the basketball game tonight. It's funny because I was thinking before the game started, is there a way to do this? But once it started going there, and I saw the dominance in the post, and I saw the rebounds and the offensive rebounds, and Jokic getting these boards, and Mason Plumlee or Miles Plumlee, whichever Plumlee it was, doing spinorama moves on Mike Muscala and putting him on ice skates, I said, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Think about this, 126 points scored, right? 74 is an obnoxious percentage of points in the paint. They exposed the holes tonight. And I'm not mad at anyone. I'm really not mad at anyone. You look at the rebounds, and I was surprised that it was what it was. It was 51-41 in rebound department, but obviously the offensive boards did some damage, and that allowed them to get more buckets. It is what it is. I'm just excited to get Jimmy Butler back, and I thought it was the correct move to sit Joel Embiid for a game like this. He's clearly been fatigued. He's tired. He has the back problem. There's no reason for him to go out there and play a regular season game right now when he has an opportunity to rest for a couple more days. That might put... When was their last game? Is it Saturday tonight? So they played, what, Thursday maybe? So... Did they play Thursday or even Wednesday? I'm losing track of days, but 5-6 days of rest before another game. Yeah, that's what you got to do to a big man who does a lot of damage on his body, puts himself in the low post, and plays with physicality. You got to give him rest, and that's the right decision out of the Sixers and Brett Brown. So I'm not crushing anyone tonight. Of course, there were some positives that I take out of it, and one of those was Ben's free throw shooting. I thought he did miss and leave some points on the table, but his free throw shooting was a positive. Corey Brewer was a big positive tonight. I'm very proud of Elton Brand for finding that one. That's a great snag. He did a phenomenal job. He was scoring in many ways, and for being 33 and creating that type of energy and mojo, that's great. That's fantastic. And Landry Shamet playing the 1, that's a mini takeaway for me. I don't know how much we're really going to see it. There's no way I could ever imagine Brett Brown putting Landry Shamet at the 1 over someone like TJ, just because TJ has been running the offense for many years now there, so he understands it more. But just in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Landry at the 1. I could see it. I kind of liked it. Not saying he's going to turn into Steph Curry or anything, but he has the ability to shoot a three, and he looked comfortable bringing the ball up. He has done it in the past at Wichita, so it's just an idea. Jokic kills us tonight. Triple-double. The guy's special. He really is. He's very unique for his size to have the vision that he does, the dominance in the low post that he does, the ability to shoot. He can rebound. He does it all. They did it right on the broadcast when they compared him to Ben Simmons, and the fact that even though they play different positions and different playing styles, their versatility at their respected position is unique, and that is 100% the truth. So let me know what you think down below. There's not much to take away, boys. Don't overreact to a loss like this. It wasn't in the cards tonight, and it never really was. Going into it, we had holes, and they exposed them. Let me know what you think. See you next time.